All right, what's up, everyone? All right, here's your lesson, lines cut by transversal and their angle pairs. So here are my parallel lines right here. And we know the parallel lines, typically they're indicated with like these little arrows showing that those are my parallel lines. And they're cut by transversal, meaning they're cut by another line. And when this happens, when you have your parallel lines cut by transversal, some angle relationships start to happen. Some of these are congruent, some of them add up to 180. So it just depends on which ones we're talking about more specifically. All right, so let's go ahead and look at that right now. So we're looking at alternate interior angle pairs. So let's look at those real quick. What does that mean? So angles that lie between the lines that are on opposite sides of the transversal. Let's just label this real quick. I'm gonna call this my transversal. Actually, I'll call it a blue little line. Bam. So this right here is my transversal. Okay, now that we know that's my transversal length, so it says angles that lie on opposite sides. So on this side, so here on this side and this side, opposite sides um, of the transversal. So alternate interior. Alternate means opposite. Interior means inside of your parallel lines. So if you have like a marker or something, we're going to highlight that. So I'm going to give you one example. It tells us 4 and 6. This angle right here and this angle right here are alternate interior angles. Okay, we're going to learn the next set of notes that those are congruent, meaning they're going to be equal to the same number, same value. All right, so that's an alternate interior. We need to find another pair, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but 3 and 5 are also going to be my other pair of alternate interior angles. I'm not going to color them in right now, so you'll see later, because I'm going to have to use something else. All right, so there's one pair of alternate interior. Connects, what do we have? We have, excuse me, all right, why is this not working? No, I guess I'm gonna have to just delete it. Sorry, guys. All right, so alternate exterior angle pair is angles that lie outside of the lines and they're opposite. So they give us an example, example 1 and 7. Go back to my highlighter, bam. So angle 1 and 7. So if we're looking at angle 1, bam, angle 7, bam. Those are what we call alternate exterior angles. They lie on the opposite side and they're exterior. Those are also going to be congruent, meaning whatever this value is here, when we find out, for example, let's say this was 30 degrees, this one will also be 30 degrees. But you don't need to worry about that right now. I'm just kind of letting you know. That's what we call alternate exterior. So if that is a pair, where else do you see a pair that's considered alternate exterior? Bam, 2 and 8. Those two are two alternate exterior angles, 2 and 8. Okay, cool. Keep going. What we got here? Corresponding angle pairs. Angles in matching corners of a figure formed by two lines and cut by transversal. So they give us an example, 1 and 5. So they go here, 1 and 5. Where's 1 and 5 at? So here's 1. So this angle here and then this angle here. Those are what we call corresponding angles. Now the reason why they're called corresponding because I'm going to have to erase this for a minute. You'll see right now. If I was to take this angle right here and then take this bad boy and drag it down, do you see how it matches up perfectly with that? Those are corresponding, meaning whatever this angle is, it's going to match here. Okay, those are my corresponding angles. The same goes for if I was to draw this angle right here, bam, bam, and then take that dude right there and then drag him over here. Do you see how that angle would match up there? That angle and this angle are corresponding angles. Same goes for this corner and this corner corresponding, and this corner and this corner. Those are corresponding. So we have lots of pairs of corresponding. So we have 1 and 5. What else we got? 4 and 8 is one we just talked about. And we also got, let's do one more. Let's do 2 and 6. And do I have space for one more? No. If we wanted, we can say 3 and 7. Angle 3 and angle 7. All right. So we have consecutive same side interior. I know you're like, what the heck is this? Consecutive means same side interior angle pairs. Okay, so consecutive, what does that mean? It means the angles that lie between the lines that are on the same side of the transversal. So consecutive interior angles. First of all, interior means it's got to be one of those four. Same side, so it can't be opposite, it has to be on the same side. So for example, these right here This angle and this angle, these are same side interior angles. Same side interior angles. That's your pair right there. So 4 and 5 and 3 and 6. Bam. So if I wanted to label that with some color, those two and these two would be consecutive same side interior angles. All right, lastly, what do we have? We got consecutive exterior angles. Consecutive, sorry, this is not supposed to be outside. Ooh, these were not working. All right, consecutive exterior angle pair, basically the same thing. Consecutive means same side, exterior angle pairs. All right, here's your example right here. Consecutive, this one out here and this one out here. They have to be on the same side and they're exterior angles. So 2 and 7 are consecutive exterior angle pairs. 1 and 8 are consecutive angle pairs. So let's go ahead and write that. 2 and 7 and 1 and 8. 2 and 7, 1 and 8. Bam. Okay. Sorry, this chair is a little squeaky. All right, so now that we know all of our angle pairs, we can go ahead and start identifying some stuff, right? So let's look at this one right here. It says identify some alternate interior angles. Let's use some keywords. Alternate means opposite, okay? Interior means it's got to be one of these in the middle. Now that we know that, opposite interior angles, so we can say this angle right here and this angle right here. We're just gonna, we'll just highlight them. If you have some like a color, so you can highlight those. If you want to write them out, we can say angle 3 and angle 6, right? Another group is angle 5 and angle 4. Angle 5 and angle 4. Okay, those are what we call alternate interior angles. All right, let's go here. Alternate exterior angles. Again, alternate means opposite sides. So it's opposite sides. Actually, this may be a little confusing for you if you don't know. First, find your parallel lines. Bam, bam. This is your transversal. So when we say opposite, you look for the transversal, and we want to be opposite of the transversal. So these sides, these two sides, we're only looking at from this side to this side. Those are opposite. We're not like jumping from opposite here, opposite here. We look for the transversal, and I want to be on opposite sides of the transversal. All right, so alternate exterior angles. So alternate means opposite sides, and we want to be exterior, we want to be outside of my parallel lines. Let me highlight my parallel lines so we don't get confused. If those are my parallel lines, what are opposites? So we have this angle right here, 1 and 8, and we have another pair of 7 and 2. So those are the only alternate exterior angles. They're on the outside of my parallel lines. Cool, keep going on. Corresponding, this one has a lot. So remember, this is the one where you can take an angle, just like 7, and I want to drag it and figure out where would it fit. It would fit right here. So that means 3 and 7. I'm just going to color it in 2, actually. 3 and 7. 5 and 1, right? I could take those, drag those. And then technically, this angle and this angle are the same, right? So I'm just going to show you their pairs real quick, but I'll just do a different color. So 2 and 6. And lastly, 8 and 4. Consecutive interior angles. Consecutive means same side. Interior means inside your parallel lines. Those are my parallel lines, same side of your parallel lines. That means this angle right here and this angle right here are my consecutive interior. Or you got this bad boy right here and this bad boy right here. Again, if I'm going too fast, go ahead and hit the pause button, copy it down, then hit the play. Consecutive exterior angles. Consecutive means same side. Again, here are my parallel lines. We want to be on the same side of my transversal. So we're either looking at this side here by itself or that side. Now, exterior angles, consecutive, so that means like 2 and 8, because those are on the outside of my parallel lines. Or I'm looking at 7 and 1. Cool? All right. Let's finish the rest of these notes on the bottom. Let's go. So it says, what is the angle pair for D and H? So let's highlight D, this angle right here. Let's highlight H. Pause the video, take a guess, think about what you have, and then play the video, see if you're right. Those two angles right there are what we call corresponding angles. Corresponding angle sign. Bam. Okay. All right, cool. Let's do C and F. I'm looking at C. I'm looking at F. Those are on the same side of my transversal, so I know it's same side. And then those are inside of my parallel line, so they're called interior. Interior, and I'm going to use my little angles mark. Cool. All right, A and G. Here's my A, here's my G. So let's think about those. First of all, those are on opposite sides. So that means they're going to be alternate ALT. And then are those inside of my parallel lines or those outside? Since they're outside, we're going to call those alternate exterior angles. Okay, last one. Sorry again, if I'm going fast, hit the play, hit the pause, then hit the play. B and G. B and G. So here's my B, there's my G. Well, first of all, those are on the same side, so we can say same side. Okay, and then are those interior angles or exterior angles? Those are exterior. They're outside of your parallel lines. Bam, bam. Oops. Okay, same side exterior angles. All right, last one. Moving on, moving on. All right. Give a pair for each. Sorry, give a pair of angles for each one. Let's do this real quick. Consecutive interior. 1, 2, 3, go. Consecutive interior. Consecutive means same side. Interior means here. So we got angle D plus angle E. Corresponding. Remember, this is one where you can draw the angle, drag it, and it matches up. Let's say angle G matches with angle C. Angle G and angle C. Sorry, different colors, guys. Sorry. Alternate interior angles. Alternate means opposite sides. Interior means inside. So if I said D, which one matches with D as an interior angle? That's opposite. F, angle D, and angle F. Lastly, we got alternate exterior angles. So get a different color. Alternate means opposite sides. Exterior means in the outside. So if I chose B, what's on the opposite outside? H. Angle B and angle H. All right, that concludes your notes.